In my other video, I did the auto start stop jumper with a paper clip behind the switch. Well, if you have to take it to service, you don't want to have to take your dash apart and take the jumper out. So I installed another switch. I'll show you how I did it. And it's actually going to be located right back here. And you can press it, it'll stay latched. Press it again, it'll turn off. So I started the truck and the switch is on already, and you won't be able to turn this on or off. But as soon as I switch the switch back off, I can turn it off here. When I put the switch back on, it stays on. See ya? Alright, so I'm going to tin 2 leads on this C&K switch here. Just get some solder on the soldering iron. You only have to do 2 of them. I'm going to tin the wires on these. I'm going to tin the wires. Then I'll have to put the shrink tube over the wire. Both of them. And then solder it to it. Might have to add some to that. Add some solder to that one. Let's put it on here first. There we go. And then when I'm done with that, I'll test them first. I might have to redo that one too. Then push the shrink tube up, shrink it down, put one on there too. Now I'm going to take this piece that I took out. This was my jumper for auto start stop. I'm going to cut the round part off and connect these to the other end because these are the right size. This wire is too small to fit in those connections. Now I'm going to shrink the tubes. Don't hold it right on there, but hold it far enough away where you'll melt the wires underneath too. That looks pretty good. On this switch here, you can choose either set. You can do the middle one and the outer one on this side or this side, it doesn't matter. So when you push it, those will come on. When you push it again, those will go off. It'll be just the opposite. When that one's off, this one's on. This one will be on, and then push it and that'll be off. Alright, so this is the other end of the wire. I made the wire about 12 inches long just so you could pull that one cover off if needed and you have enough slack there. So I'm going to tin these wires. And just tin the end of this. There's more than a tin there, but okay. Now I'm going to try to solder that without burning myself. I want to make sure this is a good connection. Hold it for a second. My shaky hands, it's not good. Alright, and then I'll put shrink tube over that after I let them cool down. Hopefully it's good. Alright, that's not hot. And then put the shrink tube over it. And that pin will be just enough to stick into that connector like that. And I'll shrink this down on it. Already did the other one. So this is what the cable looks like right now. So I took a Sharpie and painted the white knob on there so it's black so it doesn't stand out. I wanted to install the switch in this area here, but there's too many things in the way. And then I looked over here there's too many things in the way over here, so when you pull this up you might snap the switch. So what I decided to do is put it under the rubber cover and drill a hole here. I'll put a 1/4 inch hole here, and then I'll use the soldering iron to go up through that to burn a little hole into the rubber here, and this button will barely pop through the rubber. So I'm going to use a unibit. I already started the hole. It's the 4th notch up. It'll be a 1/4 inch. So I got the hole drilled. I'm going to turn it over, take a soldering iron, and push it right through the rubber. All right. That should work. So with the hole burned through the rubber, this is about as much as the switches you'll see. About that right there. You can push that, push on and off. So I got the switch installed. That's what it looks like. It's about that far away from the end. And the button's pretty concealed. So on, off. I had to make the rubber a little bit bigger hole so it wouldn't catch on it. Alright, so this is what I got so far. So I put it back in, there's your switch. Just run the wires up through, bring it out here. Make sure your wires, the black and red wire or whatever wire you use, is hooked to the black and white wire. They slide right into those little holes right above the pins. And then test it, make sure it works first. Then I'm going to tape the wire to this wire so it won't come apart. Put it back together. And like my previous video, it shows you how to take all this apart, but it's basically easy. You just pop that off, take 2 screws out back here, pop this up. You got to get these 3 things here. Feel like you're gonna break it, like I said in the other video. And then these 2 screws here you got to take out, and when you do that you pop this forward and you can squeeze the sides of this switch to pull the switch out to get to it, and then just put it in reverse order. So I started the truck and the switch is on already, and you won't be able to turn this on or off, but as soon as I switch the switch back off, I can turn it off here. When I put the switch back on, it stays on. See,